they'll like do a bus for buying
A
raw
bus
milk.
for raw milk, absolutely.
Can you believe that?
I don't think our government likes independent dairies like this.
What do you want us to allow y'all to do? And we said, leave us alone, basically. He does things the hard way sometimes. Because he milks at 1 and 1, my mom is able to work another job. In the milk tank, holds all the fresh raw milk. She only has just a minute or 2 to let it fill up before she replaces it with the next jug. There were very few vacations as a child.
You got a married lifestyle and fall in love with it. You fit to go to bed now, fit to get tomorrow started. When I bought half of this farm, I bought $300 an acre.
That's the controversial thing with raw milk is drinking it because it's got the bad bacteria. It's got some good bacteria. Yeah. My kids have been drinking it since they were, I was able to quit nursing and, offer it to them. And
All right, what's up guys? Goodness, it is windy out here. I'm gonna stand right here behind this thing to try to block the wind a little bit. But anyway, we're going today to Southern Oaks Creamery and Dairy down in Abbeville, South Carolina. The owners, Mark and his daughter Hannah, they've agreed to give us a tour of their whole operation, let us come follow them around for a day and kind of see what they have going on. They're a small dairy operation here in South Carolina. They specialize in Jersey cows. So we're gonna learn hopefully a little bit about what's so special about Jersey cows. And I can attest, I buy their milk because they are local. And there's a farmer's market near me that sells their milk, and I can attest their milk is really good. It's one of the few milks that are raw milk that I really thoroughly enjoy drinking. And so I'm excited for this. I'm excited to kind of learn a little bit about it, see what they have going on, and hopefully learn their story and the process and just get to know them a little bit more. So if you want to see what that's like, come on, let's go. All right, guys, we are here at Southern Oaks Dairy Farm. The owners of this farm are nice enough to be willing to give us a tour of the whole facility, their operation today. I just met for the first time one of the owners, and she was kind of giving us a rundown, giving us some of the rules of the tour. But yeah, we're gonna just kind of hop right into it. I have Hannah here with me today. She's going to give me a tour of the farm. Well, let's get started. I'm on your schedule. I'll follow you around and we'll see what we get to.
All right, let's start with the dairy barn. We'll go take a little tour inside.
Okay.
Nothing really going on there right now.
Awesome. Babe, do you have them? Okay.
We're usually known as the farm with cows and cats, but I haven't seen any cats right now. Let me turn on some lights.
Okay.
All right, so this is our washroom. This is the parlor where we get everything ready before we start milking. So milk tank here where we store our milk. Several hundred gallons can go in. We usually, it'll hold 1,000.
Oh, wow, 1,000 gallons.
We don't ever milk that much because we need it to be pumped to put out in products. So, a couple hundred at a time. Then we pump it over.
Okay, so is it coming in here straight after milking?
It is, straight from the cow, straight through the pipes and into the tank.
Filter does it go with the tank?
Yeah, these are the filters, the pipe that goes in. The filters are within the pipe.
I see, okay. Very cool. And then is it like, because you guys do raw milk, right? So
raw.
Is this straight from here into the bottles? Okay.
It goes here through the pipes. It gets, it's cooled over in the tank, over in the other barn. We'll go see that later. And then if it's raw, it just literally filters in and gets jugged.
Oh man, okay.
But we also have pasteurized, so we do that process as well.
So y'all do both?
Yeah, we do both.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Well, it seems like That's one thing that's fascinating about raw milk. It really is raw.
Yeah.
Right. It's just coming straight from
It
the
really
cow
is.
through a filter and
Yes.
into the bottle.
Yes. Yeah, our milk is tested, so we know it's safe for consumption. So other than getting filtered, we put
Okay.
it straight in a bottle.
Very cool.
Food right now, and it's been, we just growing is natural.
Everybody
That's
wants
the key word.
natural.
Yep.
We don't want to we'll never say we're organic, or we'll never be, but it's natural as you can get it.
So with animals like cows like this, what's going to be the difference between an organic raw milk versus natural, like just raw milk?
The organic is just a big old paperwork headache. It's a big
It's
deal.
more testing.
Okay.
A lot more government testing.
No
It's-
antibiotics, no nothing. We don't use antibiotic milk no more. Nobody. It's not legal to do that.
Right.
People think you use antibiotics. Yeah, we do if we got a life or death situation, but we don't the milk. We gotta
Right.
Test,
Okay.
We test the milk so we know it's got
Right.
antibiotics.
So like if you have a cow that has an infection, you might give them antibiotics, but then you're not using that
We're
milk.
not using the
Yeah.
milk.
Yeah. Well,
If we-
those cows get milked in this bucket, and as soon as it's done, we dump it out. Yep.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
See, that's a big
I'm
misconception
not
people
gonna let a
have.
good cow die if I can say with a chop of antibiotics. That's just the way it is.
That makes a ton of
Yep.
sense.
Yeah. We got to save the cows, but at the same time, I mean, we definitely want our milk to be
We don't
safe,
use
so we're not dare going to do
vaccines
that.
or Stuff while we're milking cows and that kind of thing. We're very minimal on that kind of stuff, but everybody's wanting it as natural as you can get it. Well, like I tell the people that buy milk from us, know your farmer, because the organic people, you know yourself. If people can cheat, they cheat.
That's true. Yeah, they'll skirt the system any way they
That's
can
right.
just to
That's
squeeze
right.
out an extra dollar.
We
so.
try to be as honest as
I
we
got
can.
a
You
friend
can.
that claims to be organic. He's not certified, but non-GMO, no grains, all totally grass-fed. I visited him one time and looked down across the field yonder in the backside of the pasture. They were feeders everywhere with grain bags,
Oh
Only I
no.
would pick up on something like
Oh my goodness.
that. Know your farmer.
I like it. Know your farmer. You hear that, everybody? Know your farmers. Go meet them. Hang out with them like this.
That's right. That's right. Feel free to walk around, because most should let you walk around and see what the cows are and get to know what you're drinking.
I
for
love
sure.
it.
Yep.
Oh, this is the milking barn back
Yeah,
here.
this is a milking barn
man.
back here. Yep.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
It's an old school way of doing it compared to the robots and the carousels and yada yada. But
Okay.
like I say, we don't want that. It works for us.
So-
and it's gonna work.
Let me ask you this, since it looks pretty high tech to me, what makes this old school versus like a new
it's
school
just
thing?
The stalls and all are 30 years old. It's old equipment,
Okay.
but it works.
It works. Okay.
So why fix what they broke?
Yeah.
And is this is like the vacuum pump system where you hook them up
That's
It
right.
and
is.
it does it itself? Man, that's cool. Is it okay if I walk down
Sure.
there?
Yeah. Come on down.
That's the secret to selling raw milk, is letting those milk crates down in the middle is the chemicals.
Yeah. We clean them very well.
That's a peroxide they sprayed it. We spray them twice.
Okay.
And before we milk them, wash them twice before we milk them.
I see. So the key to raw is making sure that the udders and all that are just
Very clean.
Very clean.
Very clean. Yes.
Before you go and start
yes.
milking it. Okay.
Yes.
Wow, this is fascinating. This is very cool. And so as it pumps out, it flows up into these
It
pipes.
goes down, actually.
It
Okay.
goes down this way in the
Right here.
small holding tank.
Okay.
The
The
pump.
top line is just a wash line. It just makes a complete cycle to wash it off.
I see. Okay. Very cool. Man. And so you pull one in at a time and milk one cow at a time?
8. We do 8. So it's 4 and 4.
Oh.
So 4 on this side, 4 on this side.
Okay.
They come in. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes to get them all 8 clean very well.
Okay.
So clean them really good. Once they're all clean, we strip them, check for any mastitis or signs of any kind of illness. As long as they're good and clean and there's no signs, then the milkers are vacuum ready. You just pop them on their udders, and they are automatic takeoff. So we push the button down, and when the cow's done and the flow slows down, they'll automatically come off.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
And then to end it, we dip them to kind of seal their teats. We dip them with iodine, and that just kind of acts as a sealant and coats their teats till the next
That way
milking.
there's no infection can get back up
That's right.
in there.
No bacteria, dirt, anything like that. Yeah.
Wow, so you guys have a very thorough
We try. We do
process.
try. You know, everything that we've done has proven that it keeps the cows clean. It keeps, you know, the milk safe to drink. We've not really had any problems in the past, so we want to keep a good thing going.
I love it. Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Now, guys, they were telling me today that we're not going to be able to actually see the milking because, as is the life with farmers, you're always kind of dealing with things as they come. And so there was a bunch of cows that ended up intermingling today that shouldn't have intermingled. So they got to separate them out, which will take a lot of mental effort. And they don't want to, they want to make sure they separate dry cows from milking cows. So we're not going to be able to witness the milking today. But we're going to see all the process and and what it takes to get to milking and learn all about the cow. So it'll be fun anyway.
She's a heifer. She's real young.
Okay, how old would she be?
She's probably about 2.5.
Oh wow.
2.5 at the
Oh,
most.
look at her.
Yeah.
She's a little skittish.
Yeah, some of the older mamas, they don't care. They'll let you come right on up.
Oh. Oh goodness, look at those cute little things.
We got some even younger right here in these pens.
Oh man. These little baby calves. Look at them. They'll melt your heart. Can I pet them?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hello.
Don't be surprised if a cat comes jumping out at you.
Hello. Oh, don't get stuck. You're stuck. Look at you. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Y'all be gentle, gentle, gentle. Hi. Oh my goodness. So, how long ago would you say that these would have been born?
A couple days to a week.
Oh, really fresh?
Yeah,
Goodness.
yeah, they're very young. Very young.
Wow,
We only
June
keep
bug,
them over
June
here
bug.
for about 2 weeks. And then we wean them to this side of the barn.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't keep them here very long. If they have a tag, they're heifers. If they don't have a tag, they're bulls.
You said if they don't have a tag, they're what?
They're bulls.
Okay.
We don't keep any of those. They don't make milk, so we don't keep them around. We try to sell them.
Okay. So the heifers you keep and you raise them up,
Raise
and then
them
they're
up.
future milk cows.
That's right. That's right.
Very cool.
This little one's nickname is Junebug.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
We must have Junebug around here.
That's what I
That's
told
what
him. I
she
said
was
that was my
telling us.
grandpa's nickname.
For baby cows like this, like if they're born in the mid of winter,
Yes.
do they still stay in a barn like this, or do you have to keep them?
No, they come straight here.
Okay,
They
cool.
come straight here if we can, within an hour of birthing. I mean, like
Very
we
cool.
keep
We
them with
milk
mama
cow
for.
as quick as possible
Yeah.
and get colostrum in them.
For them?
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, dairy cows are not always the best nursers. They're so
Okay.
used to the equipment, milking them out, and they produce so much milk that there's no way one calf could nurse them, enough to.
I see.
And then they'll develop milk fever where they go down because they have too much milk and they didn't get it off in a time. So
I see.
we try to get them milked as soon as possible and get that same good colostrum back in the cow or baby
Okay.
calf. Yeah.
Now, all the cows you guys breed are all Jersey cows, right?
Yes.
Okay. What is it about Jersey cows that they seem to be kind of the prized dairy cow? What is it about Jerseys that make them like that?
The butter fat.
content.
Yeah.
Fat content.
Yeah, the
okay.
butter fat. If you can, when we go over to the creamery, you'll be able to see a clear cream line on our milk that separates, and that's what people want.
Okay.
If you have a Holstein farm, you'll still get a cream line,
Just not quite
but
as
just
much.
not quite as thick, and,
So-
it's not as rich.
So here's another question for you. Before I had y'all's milk, I thought I did not like raw milk.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because it always tasted to me like an aftertaste
Yes.
of a stable.
I agree with that.
And,
I'm not a milk drinker, and I agree with that.
But
same
y'all's
statement.
milk was the first raw milk I've ever tasted,
Yeah.
and I was like, this tastes like milk.
Yeah.
And there's no
It's
weird
very clean.
aftertaste?
Yes, very clean tasting.
Is that all Jersey cows or is that just y'all's?
I would think for the most part it would be all Jersey cows. If it's a true Jersey farm and, you know, they don't have any, I mean, we have a couple of mixed breeds that just, you know, Holsteins that are mixed, but for the most part it's all Jersey. And with that being said, you get that good butter fat and clean taste.
And that butter fat is what helps the clean taste kind of show through over the stable taste?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
very cool. I always wondered that. Awesome. I guess, Mark, did you start the farm originally?
I started the dairy.
Okay.
My dad and granddad were farmers, but not dairy farmers.
So was it in this same location?
No.
Okay.
We started about 12 miles from here on a rented farm, and I built this 7 years after I started milking.
Oh, wow.
This has always been a farm, but it was a pig farm, beef cows for a little bit.
Farm that
Yeah.
we had
Crops.
cattle and
All kind of
we done
stuff.
a row cropping.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
actually were cotton farmers when I was a kid.
That's what you originally were doing is cotton farming?
He got very interested in dairy farming from teachers he had in high school.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
FFA teachers in high school, and worked on a farm for a little while, and then was able to rent a farm.
What is it about dairy farming that originally?
You got to marry the lifestyle and fall in love with it.
Okay.
You'll hate it tomorrow. If you don't marry the lifestyle, you'll hate it because it's 7 days a week. It's 24/7. You know,
Yes.
somebody's got to live it.
That's right.
Man.
There were very few vacations as a child. We
Really?
didn't go very many places, and if we did, it was 24 hours and back because you couldn't leave for very long. The
I
work
see.
doesn't stop.
And I imagine when you have a farm like this, there's not very many people you can call on to be
That's
like,
right.
hey, can you handle all of my
That's right.
workload for
That's
the
right.
day?
The day is labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nobody wants to farm anymore.
Nobody wants to work, much less farm.
Yeah, that's true.
So it ain't about money because we paying work over here in the creamery and out here on the farm. What we're paying is stupid money for what we get.
That's, yeah, and I imagine that makes it harder
Yeah.
and harder on you guys to be able to actually turn a profit.
It's when you set out on Fridays and write the checks out and pay everybody, you wonder what they get for my money.
So does that make it, so I know you said you guys got away from the government subsidies and all that.
We're not into all the grants and all that much. It's just, we just do our little thing and be happy, you know. Just,
Is there a level of control that the government wants to have over you when you're
not with
taking?
Not with the way we're doing it this way. Before, if we were to be selling it to,
I got to sit down.
if we were to be selling it still to company, they would control a lot. You know, they control how much you get off of the 100, you know, shipping it. We're just simply the middleman, and so we, you know, in the 2010s when we started the creamery, and we finally decided we're going to take a leap of faith, and it's worked out.
Okay.
I don't think our government likes us independent dairies like this and any of it to sell straight to the consumer because they lose control.
They do.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it always fascinated me. You know, when you think about raw milk, how a lot of places will try to make raw milk illegal, and that just blows my mind.
It's very controversial. Each state's different.
Yep. That just seems so counterintuitive, especially when there's studies done
Yes.
about.
They're trying to get legal, but they got different rules for the dairies over there. Even as far as they can't sell in retail, they got to sell directly to off the farm, I guess.
Where is this at?
Georgia.
Oh, in Georgia.
The state of Georgia, yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
always been pet food, but in the last year they've trying to get some farms legal, and I think 6, 7 of them have applied to get legal. I don't think any of them have passed the test yet. But
That's crazy. Even just a state next door.
Yeah, yeah.
You go from one state to the next, you can legally buy raw
That's
milk,
right.
and then you can't.
you know, I've
That's
seen
right.
several YouTube videos where the consumers come into this state buying raw milk, and their health department catches them and tracks them on 85 or wherever.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Pour it out on
They'll pull them over, yeah.
They'll like do a bus for buying
A
raw
bus
milk.
for raw milk,
Can you
absolutely.
believe that?
Absolutely.
We under that kind of government control, we've lost the battle, and we've lost the battle.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, thankfully our state has listened to us. It was just a year or two ago that, I mean, they pretty much had an open forum to hear from dairy farmers to say, what do you want us to allow y'all to do? And we said, leave us alone, basically. And
y'all went to that
And
and
we,
voiced
yeah,
your
we went to
opinion?
it. We participated, and they listened.
Man, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good to hear.
We got legislatures in this state that want to shut us down, you know? It's everywhere.
It is. It is.
That's a shame. I feel like, I mean, when it comes to small, not just dairy, but small farmers in general, like you've been seeing this stuff on the news where something will happen and there'll be this mega farm that'll have a disease outbreak and they'll kill thousands of animals and just kill them and do away with the meat. They won't sell it. They won't give it away. Nothing. And it's like, when you have these mega farm operations where you have, tens of thousands of acres under one ownership operation.
One of the ag shows this morning before daylight, sitting there drinking a cup of coffee, and it was showing the largest farm in China. 22,500,000 acres.
I can't even fathom
No.
22 million acres.
No.
What is that, an entire nation?
Right. A small country for sure. Yeah.
Once we get them off about weaning time, we move them around out here. That's a fresh mama over here that had a baby yesterday. We'll milk her here in a little while.
Oh, bless her heart. She's she just gave birth yesterday.
See the cows?
So she
From here out to our calf pasture, and then they stay out there.
Yeah, there's a
till
progression.
Their breeding
Okay.
age about 15, 16 months.
got it. Okay. Now, how often do you milk a cow?
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
A lot of people do it 3 times a day. Some even do it once a day. It's just your choice. I've thought about once a day as I get older, but that's not good for the cow.
Okay. It just increases the stress in the udders and that kind of thing?
You're gonna lose 30-40% of your production doing it that way.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see. So it's not just bad on the cow, it's also
Yes.
bad on
That's
your
right.
pockets.
It's all about.
Oh, look at her.
Come on. Come on.
Do y'all ever name them?
My mom likes, I was going to say,
she
my
likes to name
mom
them.
loves to name them all, and she knows them by name, but we're just like, give us a tag number.
I see. So she's number 657. Look at her. This is a beautiful cow.
That would have been her first calf she had. Yeah.
Okay.
So she had never calved before. Never been milked before.
Oh, wow.
That'll be a good time for y'all not to be in there.
They don't like the concrete, number one.
Oh.
They're very finicky cows. They don't like the concrete. They're spoiled, really. I mean, that's what it is. They're a spoiled breed of cow.
I see.
They've gotten to where they don't like the concrete. They'll slip and fall and act like they just cannot walk. So we basically have to put some walkers on them to help them walk sometimes.
So they're a bunch of babies.
They are. They get spoiled.
Goodness. So they have to give, I mean, I guess it makes sense naturally, but they have to give birth before you can milk them.
Yes.
How long are they milkable after giving birth?
We try to breed them to where we milk them for 9 months.
9 months, okay.
9, 10 months, give them 60 days vacation in a dry period. Try to get them bred to calve once a year.
Okay, gotcha. Man. And so once
We
they
do part AI and part, we got a bull too, just to get them bred.
okay. And so once their milk starts running dry, they're going to have another calf in order
That's
for you to
right.
continue milking.
That's right.
And can they do that for their whole life, or?
Most
there-
jerseys are productive until they're about 12 or 13 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
We have very few that hang around that long.
Yeah.
Something will pop up, they'll get mastitis, another infection,
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Won't get bred on time or something.
They usually have 8 babies or so.
Okay.
About 8 babies.
Wow. So about a decade,
We milk a
roughly.
lot of old cows because we don't call a good cow when you got just because of her age.
Yeah. Is culling, is that when they get put down?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
when they go to beef then.
We just typically
see.
sell them. Yep.
Okay, so these will.
We don't put any down on the farm just because they are no longer milking. We'll try to sell them, let someone else get some kind of use out of them.
So after their milk production is done for their life, then Jersey cows can still be harvested for meat as well.
I mean, they can be, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay. Very cool.
These here are on their last week of getting milk before we wean those off of milk, and of course they're already eating grain.
Okay.
And that's
And they'll go out to
the
the.
ones behind you. That's the ones that we've already weaned.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
our
this one,
little
okay.
heifer lot.
30 out there in that pen.
Oh, wow.
We got another whole herd coming. And I got 7 on loan to the
Oh,
state of Georgia.
no walker.
4-H,
No
6,
walker. No,
being
say no
sold
walker.
and Going to fair shows and livestock shows
Walker.
right now, so we got a whole nother herd coming.
Oh, my goodness. So how many cows do y'all have total, like under ownership?
We probably have 150 calves and cows and everything.
Total.
Okay.
Yep.
And for the farm, what do you think, like per day, gallons of milk y'all are able to produce
We gotta have 400 plus
to
Yeah.
survive? Okay.
to cash flow.
Yeah, in order to
To
not be
meet our
struggling.
demand,
That's right.
We gotta have 400 gallons a day.
Yep.
Okay.
And we
Man.
do.
3,000 gallons a week is kind of what we should.
3,000 a week. Goodness gracious.
It's a, you know, it takes money to cash flow, to pay labor and feed and hay and everything else that goes along with the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, we pour into them so they'll put out. I mean,
Yeah.
between hay and feed and making sure.
Yeah, these are
you
your
know.
assets, right? These are what feed you, and so you have to
That's
feed
right.
them. Are y'all comfortable going into any, even if it's really rough, detail of like what numbers look like to make a dairy farm cash flow?
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's you know, like I say, we just to run this farm, we need that volume of milk. You know, we get here at the farm, we get $5 a gallon. We get $6 if we leave the farm with it delivering it, and in several cases in Greenville, when we get so far away from here, if we have to deliver it twice a week, we charge some of them smaller ones $7. You know. Just,
Yeah, the
you
cost
gotta-
of
you gotta-
fuel
it
and
costs money to haul it 2 hours away from here.
yeah, it does. Okay, man. So like let's say you're charging here $5 a gallon.
And we aren't getting rich at that when you start paying, 30-something cents for a jug and another 10 or 12 cents for a label and 4 or 5 cents for a cap.
It starts adding up.
Right, and start
And then
adding
the
up.
labor to handle all that,
So what would you think is like, so for a $5 retail gallon, what do you think the cost, like actual cost per gallon is to produce?
What is it?
Three-
You done the
about-
math?
I was gonna say it's about $3.
About $3 to produce. Yeah, so those aren't like you say, you're not getting rich off.
Right.
So you really gotta marry the lifestyle
Yeah.
and love it.
When you
huh?
factor in the caps and the labels
we
and
make a decent living now,
Yeah.
but with no debt. But we aren't getting filthy rich either. We're
Yep.
able to finally have a nice cash flow where we can put some money back.
Yeah.
well, that's also where that crazy milking time comes in. It's not conventional, but we milk at 1 and 1.
So I don't think I was recording the
That's my
first time.
That's his choice.
So explain that again. How that works?
So most farms can pick their times if they milk twice a day.
Twice a day.
So they can milk at 6 and 6 if they wanted to. That
Okay.
would make more sense, for just a normal, typical lifestyle. But
I don't make good sense.
he does things the hard way sometimes. But because he milks at 1 and 1, my mom is able to work another job. Just until about 10 years ago, he worked another job, just so we could make ends meet.
I quit my second job to start bottling milk.
Yeah.
I spent
Wow.
about 15 years.
But because we got used to the routine of it, we just kept it the same. So
1 a.m.
1
and
a.m.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Yeah.
Goodness. So like you said before,
I'm a
whenever
1
most
o'clock in the
people
morning person.
most people who are out late are going
yes,
to
or
bed.
going to bed at 1. Yes.
When he's getting
starts
up.
his day. That's
People-
right.
I blow people's mind when they come pick up milk real late at night here at the farm, and you fixing to go to bed? No, I'm fixing to get tomorrow started.
Yeah.
At 11 o'clock at
Yeah,
night,
he's back up, ready to go. He goes to bed about 6.
Yeah, I'm about to say you must go to bed early.
Yeah, yep.
Goodness gracious. Okay, so is your wife still working? Your mom?
She does.
Okay.
She works a full-time job as a school nurse.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yep. So she
Very
helps.
cool.
She helps here, and then she goes there.
Dang. So what time does she get off work?
She school's over about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So even though y'all are starting your evening earlier than most
That's
people,
right.
you have a full evening.
That's right.
We got help to do evening milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we got a couple of girls. These girls are in here bottling now milk 3 mornings a week to help me, give me a break.
I see. Okay.
They work on weekends and milk 3 mornings a week. And I'm
Man.
out here with them. they can't feed the cows, and I feed the babies and hang around with them just to be here.
In case something happens, that's right.
Man, I'm sure you look like you're about 25, so you're probably running circles around all the help. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm Social Security eligible.
Okay.
He
And you're
is.
out here in the wee hours
Yes.
handling these jerseys.
You got to marry the lifestyle.
Goodness. Now, are you following in his footsteps? Are you planning to run the farm? Are you?
My sister and I together.
Okay.
My sister Carrie works here full time, and so she's here Monday through Friday.
Okay.
And so it's one of those things where, do we want to do it as our full-time job? Probably not. But are we going to let it go per se? Absolutely not. We've worked alongside him
Your whole life.
our whole life as well. So I mean, we're going to keep it going. We're going to do what we can.
Okay.
I'm a teacher by trade, so got about 10 more years to teach, and I'll be here after that to help do whatever.
So, weekdays, how does your weekday look for you? Are you coming to help in the morning, then going to teach, and then?
Thank goodness no.
Okay.
Thank goodness no.
Okay.
No, I'm the afternoon emergency standby on call person.
I see.
So I stop by. It's actually on my way home, so I stop by every afternoon just to see what needs to be done, finish up
Man.
any tasks that need to be done.
That's awesome.
Yep.
About 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm spent.
Yeah, I imagine. You've been up a full 12-hour day, 13-hour day by that point.
That's right. That's right. It's really crazy.
I'm out here at that time of day, but working hard. I'm here to put out fires, basically.
I see. Just kind of help manage and direct.
That's
and-
right.
Yeah. What kind of advice would you give to people? You know, a lot of people, like you said, are interested in natural nowadays, or trying to get started in some kind of, even if it's homestead style farming. But it just seems harder and harder nowadays to do anything around agriculture because land's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Going up by the day.
yeah, and there's like,
We had a place that sold above us here last week. We paid, when I bought this, my dad gave me his half, but when I bought half of this farm, I bought for $300 an acre. We had some sell half a mile
$300
from
an
here
acre.
for $8,000 yesterday. So
Right.
so
it's a large tract of land too, so it's getting crazier by the day.
up in Greenville, where I'm at, the average probably is going to be between 20 and 30,000 an
Yeah,
acre.
absolutely. I mean,
The sad thing about it up there is, and it's here too now, but 10, 15 years ago when we started delivering milk to Greenville County, especially the northern part of Greenville, where we spent a lot of time, even southern Greenville, but you see a lot of those small farms, beef farms mainly, but a couple of row crop farms, but there's none there now.
Yeah, it's hardly anything up there.
well, and it's growing so much, but it's not growing toward agriculture, and
No,
it's,
not at all.
It's hard for anybody to pour in the money that you would need to be able to start something from the ground
How
up.
can you can't farm $30,000 acre land, right?
Yeah, you can't make a profit farming
No,
30,000
absolutely not.
acre. The only way you can do that is if you buy it and it's your primary residence and you have a full-time job
right.
and you're farming it on the
And
side.
you got to do it on the side.
Yeah,
And you got to be willing to work hard, because I mean, you know, like, there will be hard times.
Yep.
We'll show you inside.
Yeah, let's go see the dairy.
Yeah,
Or
right inside the
creamery.
door is the store.
Okay. So this is the store. Is this one of those stores where you come and kind of just drop your
This
money
is
and
the
pick
honor
up your...
system, absolutely. This is
Okay.
just a come in, check out the price sheet on the door, and drop your money in.
Very cool. Now, where it says raw milk, is that, do y'all have to put it in big bold like that, or is that just so you people
That's
know?
just to kind of catch people's eye,
Okay.
because we have the whole milk at the bottom as well.
Do you have to approve of it?
I see. Okay.
The
And
red cap is pasteurized milk.
Sweet girl.
the red cap is, and the white is raw. Okay.
Yes.
Very cool. And so this is where people come, and if they come pick it up and
I'm
just
gonna see
drop
if
their
I can
money
let the
in
dog
here.
out
Yep.
without letting the girls out.
She's gonna open it.
That's
Hold on.
cool.
Come on, doggy. Come on, Walker. Come on, Walker.
Y'all
Come
have
out.
stealing and
Come
stuff?
out. Good job. It gets a little
Oh,
crowded.
man.
We make the ice cream over here.
We do.
Okay.
We want the girls to have some.
So this is
yes.
homemade ice cream by you
Homemade
guys.
ice cream, yes. We started that about 5 years ago during COVID. My mom and I were out of school for so long that we'd always had it on our mind to, hey, besides milk, what could we do to make some money? And we thought, let's try ice cream. And so we had time over COVID to try it, and we started with just your basic vanilla and chocolate and strawberry, and it took off. And now we have about 17 or 18 flavors that we try to keep up with. Yeah.
And you sell this mostly in markets?
We sell this mostly here. We've not quite ventured out. There's 1 or 2 markets who are willing to come pick it up and take it.
It has to be frozen.
Because there's just so many things that we don't want to have to get into right now. So if they're willing to come haul it themselves, then we'll let them. But for the most part, we sell the ice cream right here on the farm.
I see.
And it's even during the winter, it's a great seller.
Okay. Man.
But we'll.
Bottling milk, show you the old school way of bottling milk back here. We still do it 1 gallon at a time. We've invested in an automated bonder, but we got to add on to the bond before we get going here.
I see. So you're bottling it by hand?
Well,
almost by hand.
Almost. I was going to say, if you want to maybe video them, and then we'll talk about it. Okay. I don't know that they'll want to be in the video.
They don't want to get
yeah.
involved in the conversation.
Yeah, but if you want to come back and kind of check it out.
Are they okay with me filming?
Do you mind me asking?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
The first thing you're going to see, other than our stack of labeled crates, is our milk tank.
Oh, wow.
And the milk tank
look at that.
holds all the fresh raw milk.
Goodness. So that's milk today.
And the cream is forming right there in the middle where it's churning.
Okay.
It's constantly turning. That's the butter, the cream.
That's the buttercream. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Over here we have our pasteurizer.
Okay.
And we have milk waiting to be pasteurized.
Wow. So this, for pasteurized?
So this is still raw right now.
Okay.
It's in here as raw milk. All the equipment on the wall over here is all of our pasteurized equipment.
I see.
And so we'll get it started here shortly.
Okay. Now, what temperature does it have to go to in order to be considered pasteurized?
145. We do low temp process.
Okay, low temp pasteurized.
Low temp. That keeps the integrity of some of the good fats and the good enzymes. That's the controversial thing with raw milk, is drinking it because it's got the bad bacteria. It's got some good bacteria. So doing low temp pasteurized keeps some of that good bacteria.
It's kind of a good middle ground for someone who doesn't want to go buy just normal supermarket milk, but is a little bit skittish of raw milk. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Now, I forgot to ask this earlier, but what is the big risk of raw milk? Like, what's the main concern with it?
Well, I think with any kind of raw product, basic viruses and illnesses like E. coli, things like that, salmonella that you could get from consuming a raw product, just like if it were raw fish or chicken or anything like that. Any raw product, yeah.
Okay.
But if you take the other side of all the good bacteria and nutrients that are in the raw milk, you got to take that risk. My kids have been drinking it since they were, I was able to quit nursing and, offer it to them. And
it's been years.
And they're teenagers now and very little sickness.
So the risk is really low if you're buying from a reputable farm.
That's right.
Who does the practices like you're talking about. Okay.
That's right. That's
very
right.
cool.
Yeah. So if you want to bring your camera this way, you can see our jugger. All right. So milk comes through the pump, just kind of pulsates it up into the holding vat. Okay. This little holding vat only holds a couple of gallons, and she only has just a minute or two to let it fill up before she replaces it with the next jug.
Oh, wow. So every single gallon you guys sell is bottled this way?
Right there in that machine.
Amazing.
It gets cleaned multiple times a day and ready for the next product, whether it's whole milk or raw milk, chocolate or buttermilk. It all comes out of that same.
Wow. Yep. So you guys make buttermilk as well?
We do.
Okay. Man, that's a cool little machine. So you get all the air out.
That's right. Get all the air out of the jug and then move to the next jug.
And then that's it.
Yep.
And then she caps it while the next one's filling.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. That's amazing. These are all the ready to go?
We keep the labeled jugs ready.
Okay.
Those will all be gone by Monday morning.
Wow, these will be gone by Monday.
Yes.
Goodness. So for y'all to be a small operation, y'all are still doing
we're still pumping out a lot.
A decent volume.
We are.
Okay.
We are.
And that's, that all feeds into the story of understanding why this man is getting up.
That's right.
In the middle of the night.
And all the times we try to think, could we do it any different? And we could, but it's just,
the
it would be
trade-offs.
so,
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I respect that. You guys are holding true
Thank you.
to the things y'all value
We
more
are.
than the ease of convenience.
Yes.
Man,
Sometimes people call us crazy for that. I'll take you back here and show you the
Okay.
ice cream. All right, so we're not making any ice cream today, but this is our machine we use to make ice cream.
Okay. Very cool. You just load your formula in there.
Load our cream, load our milk, load the ingredients in the top.
It's pretty
Back
nice.
there's just all the products and everything we might need for labeling. Even our labeling is by hand. Our labels are here, our crates are there, and that's our table. We just label it and cap it by hand. Everything's by hand.
Very cool. Okay. So one of the things I imagine being a small, like I'm looking around and you got this amazing ice cream maker. You got all this milking equipment.
All this stuff, even as miniature as we are, a small market make money.
That's what I was going to get at.
That's $35,000-$40,000 now.
Golly.
You know, it's everything's money.
And we love to have bigger ones. So this only makes about 8 half-gallon tubs of ice cream at a time. So
Okay.
8's not very much when you think we got to fill up the front, fill up the big cooler.
Yeah.
But to buy another one that's bigger, it'd be $60,000.
That is insane.
Yeah.
So I imagine, like you said, you have enough to cash flow to make a decent living, but when you got to go and put out $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for a piece of equipment, I imagine that is quite a pill to swallow when you're trying to do any kind of scaling or.
It's been a battle to get to where we are and stay out of debt.
I was saying, you purchase all this stuff cash.
Yeah,
That is crazy.
it's always a priority list. What do we need to get next, and what's the most important thing to get next?
All this stuff, hoses we sell that.
Okay.
So we can get our money back.
If you ever need to liquidate, it's pretty much going to be able to sell
That
for.
ice cream machine's worth as much today as we paid for it 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that is good. So this kind of sits on your books like an asset,
Yeah, that's right.
not
That's
just
right.
this depreciating
That's right.
piece
Like
of equipment.
pasteurized, no, they aren't worth what I paid for them, but
Sure.
I get 56% of what I paid for them.
It's not
They
bad.
pay for themselves.
And then they produce milk for
That's
y'all
right.
for years.
We'll come check out the delivery trailers and some things outside.
Okay.
This is delivery trailer for storage.
That's right. We
Okay.
always keep them ready to go.
Goodness. So y'all have 3 total?
These two are delivery
These 2 are
trailers.
Okay.
This one's loaded and getting loaded, ready to go on Monday morning.
Wow. And these are all refrigerated and everything?
They are.
That's cool.
Yep.
Where are these deliveries going to, if you don't mind me asking?
This will go to just right home here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very
On
cool.
Wednesday and Friday, that one gets loaded down pretty good. It's empty right now, but it gets loaded down to go to the Greenville markets, coffee
see.
shops and things. And we got our storage in here.
Okay.
And then this is our ice cream storage over here.
Oh, nice big walk-in
I didn't
freezer.
even bring my key. I could let him see around the ice cream storage. Do you have your key?
It's fine.
Okay.
What is this thing?
Okay, so this is the new contraption.
Oh, this is the new one you were saying you just bought.
Yes.
Oh,
Feel
okay.
free to come over and check it out.
Okay.
It's sitting out here. We unboxed it, uncrated it, just because we're trying to teach ourselves how to use it before we actually put it inside. And what we've learned, because it requires an air tank to pop the caps on, and it requires some new electricity run, different than we have it set up right now, is we're going to have to add on to the barn. So that's going to be in the next month or so that we're going to add on, and
This thing will put the label, cap, it'll do everything.
it'll date it, it'll do everything.
So this is an auto bottler.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's going to basically do
It's going
what
to take the
she's
place
doing.
of several jobs in there, from
Okay.
labeling to dating to jugging to putting the caps on, everything. It'll do it itself.
Wow.
It's just still a learning process, so it's still out
How do
here
they
for
feel
us to
about
learn.
that?
Well, I don't know yet, because I don't know how we feel about it yet.
I see. Okay. So how much does something like this cost you? I imagine it was not even close to cheap.
By the time we get it setting in there, it'll be $60,000.
$60,000. This thing looks sophisticated, though.
And it is. It is. It's got a lot of parameters that have to be set and then changed. And this is kind of the hub computer system we're keeping covered up right now just for the weather. But
Oh yeah, condensation, and all
yeah.
that. And
we learn how to bottle water.
we're bottling water right now just to get the learning curve.
oh, that's smart. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Just to practice.
That's right, just to practice.
That's really cool.
That's right.
So what is this? So I imagine this is the bottler, the thing.
The bottler.
What
It
is
comes
this?
this way. That's the capper. It'll go from there to there. This lifts up. The caps feed from here up. It comes out and then it snaps it on.
This
Amazing.
thing, it doesn't do but one at a time, but it'll work two people to death putting jugs on and taking it off. We play with it. It's quick.
Wow.
It's still just doing one at a time, but it's constantly feeding.
Now
So
with
that's
this,
going to be the difference. We won't have to stand there and feed it.
with the size of this, is it only doing half gallons?
We can change it.
Oh, it's got an exchangeable disc kind of thing. Okay.
We got them right behind you there, the templates.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah, still just learning.
I love it.
So because we are honor system and because we do so much delivering as we talked about, we talked as a family of how much we want to grow. And do we want to continue to do this on a big scale or scale it back? And because my parents are in their 60s now and my sister and I are in our 40s, you know, we've had to consider how much do we want it to grow. And I think we're at a good spot right now. The honor system allows people to come in all hours. And as long as, you know, they're good, honest folk, they follow the rules and, you know, pay the way they want to. And, you know, now that we have PayPal, we have Venmo, we have Cash App, it lets people have a little bit more flexibility. But as far as growing, I think we are where we want to be, you know, right now. We're milking the amount of cows to hold the volume that we need. We're able to keep the product stock. We're able to keep products on shelves in stores that we sell to. You know, if I would be afraid to grow too much more only because, you know, with my dad being in his 60s, he is the knowledge man around here. He is the man who knows everything. And so, you know, what we have learned is a lot, you know, but we've got to keep it a low scale enough that my sister and I can continue learning as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because you're telling me y'all are going to take the reins whenever he's done.
Yes.
But you want to not make this your whole full-time lifestyle, you know, when that time comes.
Yeah, I think back to childhood, and I think back to, you know, we had a great childhood. We grew up on a farm, you know, and everything that we've worked for has started putting out to where, you know, our kids are growing and that they're able to see not so hard of times, you know, anymore. You know, like I remember it being hard to go out to eat sometimes as a kid because, you know, we weren't cash flowing the money that we are now. So, you know, we might have to wait a week before we could go out to eat.
Wow.
And we don't have that problem anymore, which is a huge blessing. We don't want to do anything to squash that because we have all worked so hard, you know, to have what we have now.
Yeah.
But with that also being said, you know, we also want to provide a good life for our kids.
I hear you.
And not be 24/7 farming.
What do you think about the next generation after you? Are you planning to try to raise your children to take an interest in this?
Well, that's a great question. My daughter is 16 and kind of talking about her first job now that she's driving, and she works here every afternoon. She labels jugs. She does one little delivery route that's on our way home, and enjoys it. And, you know, for a 16-year-old that, you know, just needs to put gas in their car and go have coffee with her friends, you know, she's making enough money to do that. So she's interested, just not sure that she truly wants to do this as her full-time job. Now, my son, on the other hand, he's the only grandson. And he's 15 and he's at the age now where he's starting to think, you know, hey, well, do I need to go have a profession? Because, you know, he's not the college kid. He's probably not going to be the college kid. So he is truly thinking of, this is set up for me, you know.
Yeah,
he's actually thinking like this.
He's trying it on for size.
That's right. This whole business is already set up for me, and all I've got to do is take the reins. And
man, what a blessing for these kids.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
even if your daughter doesn't decide she wants to do it full time,
right,
and your son does,
right.
But just them having that opportunity
That's
to
right.
look at something like this, like if I just pan around, you know, you got acres of farm, you have a whole operation set up.
And across the road's our farm as well.
Oh, over there?
Everything across the road is ours as well.
Okay.
Yeah. My grandmother lives in the house right across the road. All the pasture land beside and behind her house is
What
ours.
a
My
beautiful
sister
setup.
lives across the road as well. So
how far
we're
do you
all
live
right
from here?
Now, I live in town.
Okay.
We bought a house near my husband's parents 20 years ago when we got married. So I live a good little ways away. But, you know, the whole goal is one day, you know, we'll all be right around here.
Well, you guys have been super hospitable to
Thank
us
you.
and showed us more than I could ask for. It's been super helpful. For anybody watching, how can people either find Southern Oaks Dairy, or if they're local, purchase things from you? Any
Well, you can
recommendations?
find us on Facebook, Southern Oaks Jersey Farm and Creamery.
Okay.
We have a website that's under construction, but it's southernoaksmilk.com.
Okay.
So we're working on trying to get that hopefully live by the 1st of April.
Very cool.
It's been a process where we had one a couple of years ago, but so much has changed that we just decided to put it under construction until we get a new one built.
I see.
But Facebook's the best way. We don't do a whole lot of Instagram. The way we've grown is really by word of mouth. But we stay active on Facebook.
Shows how good of a product you have.
Yeah, we think so. We think so.
That's awesome.
But we're located right here in Abbeville, just about 10 miles from US and Erskine College. So
Okay.
easy to find. Lots of our products are in small stores and coffee shops all around the upstate.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you heard it, you saw it. This is the life of a modern day small dairy farmer. You heard getting up at midnight, 1 a.m. is not always required, but it could be part of the process. You got to marry the lifestyle if you want to do it. But this has been fascinating.
Thank you.
I really appreciate all you guys' hospitality.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you.
Yes, you too. All right, guys. So that was definitely a fascinating tour of Southern Oaks Farm here in Abbeville, South Carolina. Just kind of makes me think, like they said, you got to be married to this lifestyle. The owner, Mark, he gets up at midnight and starts his day, and he doesn't finish his day until like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and then he's in bed by 6, and he's what did he say? He's Social Security age. It's just amazing that people like this are willing to live this lifestyle to produce a natural, healthy product and not submit to the regulations and the things that supposedly the government wants to impose on agriculture in order to make it either more efficient or bigger operations and reduce the quality, and they're not willing to give up that quality for the sake of those efficiencies, and I really respect that. They've been super hospitable to us, and I definitely learned some things about Jersey cow farming, and that fat content being the reason that Jersey milk is so much better than Holstein milk. Yeah, it's been overall a really good experience. You guys, make sure if you like this video, if it was informative, if it was cool to kind of get to see the back of the backstory and the backside of farming, the behind the scenes, that's the word I'm trying to say. If it was really cool to see the behind the scenes of farming, make sure to subscribe and kind of follow along, because I have a whole line of farms lined up for this coming summer. I'm trying to get a few more for spring, but spring is kind of the slow season in farming. But when summer kicks off, I'm going to have a ton of farms I've already gotten to agree and say yes to let us come out and do this kind of a video. And we're going to do everything from bee farming to crop farming, dairy farming like you've seen, beef farming. We're going to try to find compost farmers, and even I want to go and interview and hear the other side of the story from people who do monocropping, people who are out there just doing massive acreages of grain. I want to know why they do that. What do they think about the controversy around that, and what's the reason they continue going down that road? So stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.